No, I can't record a video right now. I just It's no secret that FNAF World is the black sheep of the FNAF family. Smashed right between FNAF 4 and sister location, FNAF World is often forgotten about, and it's easy to see why. It was a non-consequential cutesy spin-off that released as a buggy mess. It was so unplayable that it was removed from Steam within a week by Scott. Later, following the backlash, these two teaser images popped up on the game's newly created website, FNAFworld.com. The first one depicted Mangle seemingly hanging with their eye whited out. The text below it read, "See what you've all done?" which implied that we, the audience, were somehow responsible for Mangle unaliving themselves. Or was this more than just Mangle? Could it be a representation for something else? Someone else? The second image was of Ball Boy, an enemy you could encounter within the game. His head lay on the floor cracked open Humpty Dumpty style. The text below it read, "Madness takes many forms." While not as concerning as the previous teaser, it was still just as confusing. Although, this wasn't the first time that FNAF World showcased some pretty disturbing imagery that ended up going unanswered. In fact, the entire game is littered with scenes that present concerning questions when the veil of cutesy comedy is removed. For example, you had the original Old Man Consequences that was the precursor to the one we met in Ultimate Custom Night. His mechanics are similar to what we can uncover in the aforementioned UCN, with the only difference being this. Yeah, unlike UCN, the FNAF fandom has never been able to find an answer for what this ending with Old Man Consequences means. The first of these FNAF World endings with him is simple. You're trapped and forced to spend eternity by his pond. However, the second one is oddly unnerving. Aside from the fact that you literally have to drown yourself to even get to it, what we are greeted with afterward is what the fanbase has divided into two possibilities. Either it's an angel with its wings flared out, or a man with his arms around his two children. Personally, I believe the former, since that makes more sense in context with the flashing colors of the screen behind the figure that remind me of the type of static you'd encounter with an old CRT TV, which honestly complements the idea that this is just a man spending some time with his family. So that's all done and dusted, right? But wait, who could this man even be then? People often wonder if this man is supposed to represent William Afton or mayhaps Scott Cawthon himself sitting with his sons. Regardless, this wouldn't be the last time we see hints of Scott's own presence sprinkled throughout this game. Of course, you have the Scott Cawthon boss battle. I know, just don't ask. Which contains a lot of dialogue that's just depressing, to be honest. As well as the second Scott boss battle, which was just more batshit insane than concerning. And finally, we arrive at one of the most heated debates within this game. That being if this desk guy is either Henry Emily or Scott Cawthon. Again, everything I've brought up so far is connected by the thread of speculations that all this is just Scott venting his frustrations about FNAF World within FNAF World. This is exactly why I believe that this string of theories are the most concerning and disturbing ones to emerge from this franchise. With the imagery of drowning, hanging, dilapidated skulls, and self-loathing being connected to the creator of these games rather than some fictional purple guy really makes FNAF World all that more unsettling when you come across these depictions of Scott. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. Like I said, most people declare these to be theories, not confirmations. Well, I'm here to change that. Firstly, we can rule out the boss battles as obvious self-inserts, or as I like to call them, Scott inserts. This is important information as it proves how Scott was indeed frustrated with this franchise at the time given the dialogue of the boss battles. Now, on to the teasers. These two images don't connect to or supplement any other game or event within the known timeline so far. Hence, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that this is yet another Scott insert. Hell, there were rumors that this wasn't Mangle actually hanging and they were instead biting onto their paddle, first shown in the original FNAF World trailer. So, what would really be the point of this supposedly lore-heavy image when the context of it has been eradicated? Could it not just be a vent post that Scott made in a vulnerable state? I think so. And with how Scott was so quick to remove the teaser soon after it was posted, I think that basically confirms it. With that concluded, we now approach the desk guy and TV guy. Starting off with the former, I think there's one clear loose thread that cements how this isn't Henry Emily. That is how desk guy just dies long before the events of Pizzeria Simulator 2. Yes, I know there's the whole baby connection.
The show will begin momentarily. Everyone, please stay in your seats.
But honestly, I believe that whole cutscene was more of a promo for Sister Location than anything explicitly canon. In that way, Desk Guy can act as the creator of Circus Baby while not being William or Henry. After all, the grand creator is Scott Cawthon. Now this last one is where I'm left perplexed. The imagery of TV Guy is quite peaceful, yet the methods to get to him are not. My belief is that the drowning, like many other elements of FNAF World, signifies Scott's mental state at the time. So, the TV guy is a sign of how, at his lowest, it was only his personal life that could save him. I think that wraps a neat little bow tie on all of FNAF World with that explanation. The constant allusions to death that don't really go anywhere can all be summed up with how Scott was feeling at the time. Despite what Scott has said in the past about FNAF World being canon, I don't think it applies anymore, especially since he probably created those vague characters to reference Henry and William while using their guys to just vent once or twice, or maybe 3 times. Okay, maybe 4. Scott, please, this is a kid's game, I beg. And yeah, that's all I had to say while tossing my hat into the ring and trying to solve the enigma that is FNAF World. All in all, my takeaway is that Scott isn't the only FNAF enthusiast that needs therapy after this. Yeah, be sure to check out this video too if you like FNAF. Yeah, sorry, things just haven't been feeling right. I'm going crazy.